from AlphaCars, from our Boxborough location, from our service shop. My name is Dimitri, and I'm so excited to do a video for this car. We were very lucky that one of our local customers reached out to us to represent the vehicle. This vehicle has been in their family for the longest time. They finally decided that they want to sell it. And most of its life, this vehicle spent in California. And a few years that it spent here in Massachusetts, it's spent in a climate-controlled heated garage. They always maintain the car impeccably, and just prior to sale, they authorized us here at AlphaCars to do all the necessary work to bring the car to its best looking and best mechanical and cosmetic condition to make it available. And we do have our first video was done by Ben of AlphaCars, Ben Griffin. He's great, and he's done an outstanding video. With this video, we're going to take a look under the car a little bit into mechanical condition, but I have to show you the interior because it's so incredibly original, so incredibly nice, with minimal to no imperfections, and the beauty of this car that it is 100% original. The paintwork on the car is factory original, which is almost unheard of. And for those of us that it is hard to accept, I was certainly one of the people. I said, it's unheard of that the paint would be original on the car this age. So let's start from the roof. I'm using our famous paint meter. By the way, I'll make a comment that the paint finish on this car is impeccable. It's really, really nice. The car has spent a few hours outside, and it picked up a little bit of pollen. So if you see anything on the surface, it is related to the presence of pollen. The paint is incredible. So 4.5 mils on the roof, 4.5 mils on the back of the roof, 4.5 mils on the pillar, 6.5 mils on the trunk, 6.0 towards the back of the trunk, 8.5 on the left quarter, 7.0 on the left quarter, 5.0 on the left door, so everything single digits so far, just consistent. 6.5 on the left door, 5.5 on the left fender, 5.5 on the forward part of the left fender. And again, take a look at the moldings. Fit and finish is impeccable. All the gaps, the moldings are not warped, all the gaskets are not cracked, everything is nice and tight. The gasket around the mirror, everything is original. This guy has never been taken apart. The hood measures 6.0. Grille work is unbelievable. The front bumper is the chrome. All the chrome is nice and solid, no pitting. Minor light imperfections on the surface, but nothing to be concerned about. 5.5 on the right side of the hood, 5.5 on the forward part of the fender, 6.5 on the back part of the fender, 4.5 on the door, 5.0 on the lower part of the door, 4.5 on the right rear door, and 5.0 on the right rear door lower part. Quarter panel, 5.5 and 5.0. And the back panel, we're going to look at this right here, measures 3.5 and measures 3.5, which is consistent with factory readings. Again, I'm looking at this, and I have to agree that this car most likely has all original paint. The texture and the finish is incredible. Fit and finish of the assembly of the parts is all factory original. When we get inside the car, the interior, all the gaskets, all the hardware, even if you look at the hardware, it looks like it has never been apart. All the original door seals, They're still nice and soft. Rear passenger area is in incredible condition. There's one imperfection on the back of the right front seat. You can see it right here. Again, it's just a small separation in the upholstery. And then there are light staining, which is consistent with the age on a headliner. You can see that. Look at that. All the lights, everything works. Nice and long, generous handles. And look at the dashboard of this car. It is so incredible. All the woodwork is nice and rich. Center console. Even the cargo net, everything is in great condition. And we're going to open the hood. Check that out for you. Gonna put the paint meter here. By the way, here's the entry diagnostic station for modern Mercedes. It is not something you need for this car. All you need for this car is time to drive it and a little bit of enthusiasm to service it. It's a very simple car to work on. And look at the condition of the engine compartment. This one has a V8. It is amazing that back in the day when this car was released, it had this V8 with electronic fuel injection system. Yes, it has a very simple, very reliable, very straightforward, easy to maintain, easy to understand. It has the electronic fuel injection. Runs beautiful. So we're going to get this car up in the air, but before we do that, we're going to engine. Look at the quality of the brake fluid. It's all nice and clear because this car was always maintained and always maintained on time. Let's get the key. Get the key, put it in the ignition, turn ignition on, and it should start right up. Yeah, the RPMs stay high because it has the idle air control system, which works off of the coolant temperature, and it runs the RPM high on the cold engine for about a minute, and then it brings them down. Since we're still going to spend a few minutes inside the shop, AlphaCars shop, which is beautiful, air-conditioned, state-of-the-art facility, I'm not going to run this engine for too long. We're just going to get it up in the air. Well, we have it up in the air. We're going to look at the underbody of the vehicle. When you look for the vintage vehicle, especially for the one that you're going to drive every day, and this is certainly a great candidate because it's a four-door sedan, it's practical, it is big, it's safe, it's comfortable, it can go on the highway, it has air conditioning. It's a real car. You can drive it. What you want to do, you want to find something that you don't have to put money and efforts in. You want to buy something that you can actually start using. And that's a very difficult thing to do when you look for vintage cars. With this particular car, it is one that is an exceptionally good option. The most money we spend when we buy a vintage car is for the repairs, especially for the rust. Certain mechanical updates, they are enhancements, they're improvements, and they're well worth it. But when you buy a car and you think it's a good solid car and then you realize, wow, it's got tons of rust, and you start fixing the rust, number one, it's very expensive. Number two, it doesn't really improve or enhance reliability. You're just fixing stuff that shouldn't be there. So the goal is to find a car that has no rust issues. This car is a phenomenal example. We're going to just go and look at different things This is something that we did because we did the repair here. Someone improperly used to secure this car in the flatbed, and they actually ripped this plate. So we reinstalled it, we re-welded it, and we resprayed it with the anti-corrosive sealant, the same one, the one that has been used by Mercedes. But check this out. Check out the condition of the frame rails, of everything about this car. It is unbelievable. For those of you who has performed in the past rust repairs, overhauls of unibodies, it is tens of thousands of dollars to do them right. On this car, you can also see the rear spring has been replaced. You can see right here, and this is the equalizer spring because it has an independent suspension in the rear. You can see it looks like a solid axle, but it actually isn't. It's a solid axle on the left side, and then the right side, you can see the pivoting point, and in between there is a spring. Of course, you still have your regular suspension spring in the back. We can also comment on this brake system was overhauled. You have the original sack shocks replaced. We continue with the underbody, and this vehicle continues to impress me because I look at so many vehicles. We do our own inspections, we do pre-buying inspections, we service vehicle, we restore vehicle. We've done it for well over 30 years, and to see something like this on a vehicle from early 70s, this is unbelievable. This looks like it's a 3-year-old car from California. And look at all these typical areas on this chassis that just rust away. They just rust away, they vanish, and then you need to reconstruct them. Look at all those, that's the fender well above the headlamp where you get your typical rust. There's not a speckle of rust on this car. Very, very, very impressive condition. Just this alone makes this car worth a lot more. But also, this car was very well maintained throughout its life, and just before the sale, our listing has accurate information, but there was close to $10,000, if not more, that owners spent to bring this car to a good and solid and reliable condition. We're going to disclose one small cosmetic imperfection where you can see this molding is gouged in, and there's a small scuff on the paint on the rocker panel. The rest of the body is simply incredible. We're so excited that we still have the car. I don't think we'll have it for long. And I know I'll be thinking back, it will be one of those stories where we're going to say, I wish we bought it. I wish we kept it for ourselves, for our collection. The only collection we have, collection of Russian imports from the Soviet Union from the 80s. And it's an exciting collection, but it's nothing like this Mercedes. So we invite you to check out our website. If it is still available, please reach out. And if it isn't, it's going to be one of those cars where we're all going to say, well, they had it at AlphaCars. It was a great, great deal. Thank you very much for viewing this video. My name is Dimitri, and I am reporting from our service center from our Boxbar location.